So for this video, I'm going to be going over the first solo in the song Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. And right off the bat, we're going to be looking at the chords that we're playing over, because that's really what's important. And we're dealing with the D, then we're going to A, and this is just playing through the chorus chords, by the way. C to G. Let's dial in our sound. I've got plenty of gain in there. I've got a lot of reverb because this is very big on the reverb, and a bit of delay in there. So as I was saying before, because we're dealing with the chords D, A, and then eventually C and G, first we'll start with D. Now if we take this D shape a whole octave higher, then we have the beginning of the solo. So instead of starting it in the shape, I like to go, and it's kind of a quick move. Then we're going to bend a half bend, half being that we're on the 14th fret of the E string, and we're just bending it up to the tone of the 15th fret. And then we go to the 15th fret of the B, which is right here, and we get a full bend this time. Instead of just going, we're going to the 17th fret tone. So at first he did a D shape, and then went into the A shapes. I can't fit all of my fingers in there like the A chord, but if you were to do the exact same thing an octave lower, you're getting that shape of the A chord right after the D chord, and it goes right back to the D. So we're getting, now I do a full bend, and what I tend to do, because I don't release the bend, and when I say release, I'm just kind of coming from this full bend here, I mute it, and then I'm at the released point, which means that I'm just unbend. I'm at the 15th fret. So after that, full bend, mute, come down. Now I'm going to hit the note again. Now you can do a double picking, or you might do a pull-off. There is a difference, and I leave that up to you what you prefer to do. I tend to do pull-offs a lot of the time because it smooths out the way that the solo sounds. You're not going to be picking as much, which tends to make solos sound choppy, and there are places or times for that. But in this particular solo, and in a lot of the solos for Pink Floyd, he minimizes the amount of picking that's going on to give it that really smooth flow. It's got a bluesy, emotive, bluesy flow to it. Same with using all those bends. There's a lot of slides, pull-offs, hammer-ons instead of extra picking. So I get that bend, mute, release, and then strike the string, pull off, and then I hit it again to walk through the A chord. Notice that I'm finger over finger. If you want to, you might even do a finger roll. I don't like to, because it's not as easy for me to do it that way, because I might end up getting a little bit of the muddiness of two strings hitting together. You definitely don't want that. That's just going to ruin the sound. So when we get through the A, in one note, one move, So I try to do it in a way that you can see that I'm not picking the string again. Only after I've slid down to the 12th fret on the D string, then I'll hit it one more time. And so after we've gone through that first run, I'm doing it a little bit slower, and it's better to do these solos from Pink Floyd especially a little bit slower, because fast just kind of ruins the feel of the solos in general. Now we're going to come around it the second time. It's going to be mostly the same as the way it was the first time, slight differences. So there's timing is a little bit different. So, I missed a note there, but the first time I did this bend on the 15th fret, I muted, and then on the unbent 15th fret. But this time around, we're going to actually kind of keep it one flow of movement. So you're kind of walking down the scale. You get that bend, and then you come down. It's not as pointed of a mute, and then starting on the 15 again is. So you know up to here, but now we're going to go one fret further down to the 11th fret on that D string, so it's. So again, get used to that. You might do it the way that I'm playing it, finger over finger. And I'm picking here, pull off, pick, slide, slide. And then I'm going to pick again, but I'm going to see how I'm kind of doing this like a weird preparation. I'm going to pick starting as a slide from the 12th fret to the 14th. And then pick again to walk down to the 12th fret of the A string. So it's. Now once I've gotten to this 12th fret of the A string, I'm going to slide to the 12th fret of the G string. So after the So it's a slide in to the 12th fret of the G string. Then we go to the 11th. And he kind of does this staccato. Staccato is like a short, choppy note. And that sounds like a bad thing, but in this case it's not. So we're going 12, 11 on the G, and then we're going 14, and then 12 on the D string. And he cuts the notes short after this. And then we do a hammer on, still on the D string 12th fret, going hammer on to the 14th. So notice this part here. This part is the hammer, and then we come back and pick it, and then we do a pull off from 14 to 12. So it's and then pull off, and then add another picking of the notes. So after the now this is important here. We're going to do the 14th fret on the D string, starting there. We're not hammering onto the 14, we're starting from the 14, doing a pull off. And we're going pull off to 12, to the 14 on the A, back to the 12 on the D, then 14 on the D, then we reach up to the G string 11th fret, hit it once, and then hit it again, and then slowly bend up a half step. So we'll walk through that a little bit again. So slide into G, hammer, and then pull off. Then start from the 14 on the D, pull off 14 to 12, 14 on the A, then back to the 12, 14, then G 11, hit it once, and then again with a slight bend. And notice my pointer finger is doing this twist. This is kind of one way to dig into that bend, and it's not a big bend, and you can get away with it with one finger. But if you struggle with that, you could always, instead of using your pointer finger, use your middle, so that you can put your pointer finger on the fret above, I should say below. So the 11th fret is where you're actually wanting to fret, and then you can stick your other finger on the 10th fret, and then use both fingers to help, and you're kind of twisting your hand this way. You don't want to come away from the fretboard with this part of your hand, because you're going to use part of the fretboard like this as your guide to help you to bend it. If you're not used to that, it's something that you'll have to kind of be conscious of, because it's a really effective way of bending your notes. You're not muscling. Because you do that enough, you're going to get really tired with your fingers, and then you're not even going to be ready for the solo at the end of the song. So you're just conserving energy, but you're also playing more effectively, more efficiently when you... So we get that half bend, and after that half bend, now this is the last part, it sounds really nice. So on the G string 12th fret, we're going to hammer on to 14. Now, see that pinky? I like to use my pinky. It's another walk from the scale. So we do the hammer on 12 to 14 on the G. And then from here, I'm using my pinky, but you could go ring finger, so finger 3, 2, 1. I just like this myself. So however way you choose to do it, you're going 15th fret from the E, the high E, going 15, 14, 12. Then you're going to the B 15 to the 12 on the B. And just like what we did with the A in the earlier part of the solo, doing that A chord, we're going to do that finger over finger. So we're going to go again, hammer on G, 12, 14, then high E, 15, then 14, then 12, then 15 on the B, then 12. And notice, I'm on my index finger here. This is how I do it. It's not a mistake. I'm going right from my index. So, again. And notice too, I'm kind of slowly raking upward. I'm not going, you can, but it's not going to sound as nice. Then I pick the B string, then pull off, then pick up, and then pick up. Slide to the 10th fret on the D. So it's a double slide, really. You have to learn how to run this in a fluid motion so that you sustain the note from 12 to 10 to 9. Just before he clocks out for this part of it, he goes to the 7th fret and he does this up to the 9, back to the 7 to end it, and then they do the... And as they're doing that part there, he kind of fits in this little piece before they completely finish the chorus. So he's on the G string, 10th fret, and he does a full bend. And then he releases it muted, so you're not hearing it come down. So you get this. So it's a unique Gilmour kind of a bend. So he's coming down. So as he comes down, he rebends it, kind of like in the same motion, to like a half bend. So I'm doing this full come down. So when I come down almost completely, but I bend it half bend, so I'm getting that 11th fret tone or pitch. So, and when I come down after that, I'm coming down to the 7th fret of the G string, so it's, and then I go back to the D string 7, and I hit that one, slide up to 9, and then slide back to the 7th fret. Then we're done, fully done with the intro solo.